Chris Parry from EQUITY.GURU. Azincourt, AAZ is the ticker symbol. Azincourt Energy is a uranium explorer. We've talked about Azincourt a lot. We talked about Azincourt when they made the announcement that they were going to do a stock rollback 2.5 to 1. They figured they had too many shares out there. The share price was lower than they really wanted it to be. And so they decided for every share that you had, or 2.5 shares you had, they would reduce that to 1 share. Now the markets, they don't like that talk, right? It is always a downdraft when a company does that. People get a little scared. They assume it's going to go down, and so it does go down. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, so Azincourt announced their move, and the stock held. It did actually really well. It dropped 0.5 cent on that news, rather than the usual dropping halfway towards whatever the new share price is going to be. So we were actually running around here jumping up and down saying Azincourt Energy held up really nicely. Something's happening here. Now, of course, uranium stocks as a sector in the weeks after, they took a bit of a hit. And so every uranium explorer out there went down 20%, and Azincourt got the same drop. Problem is that Azincourt, when it got that drop, people jumped off. Weak hands jumped out of the thing, and it brought it straight back down to the same share price that it was at before it did the rollback. So you're getting 2.5 times the value, as I see it, right? This was a 9-cent stock. They did a rollback. It went to 22.5, and it is now back to 9 cents. Now, if I go and have a look at Azincourt on my stock screener, it tells me it's a $20 million company now. You know what it was before the rollback? A $45 million company. So just by rolling back to stock, changing absolutely nothing else about the company, no bad news, no misses on the drills, nothing else, you're now getting the stock for 20 million in valuation rather than 45 million. That doesn't make any sense to me. This is not just the same company that it was before the rollback. It's a better company. It's progressed further. They've got cash in the bank. They've got enough cash in the bank that a $20 million market cap makes 0 sense. They've got partners. They've got investors. They've got some big, strong hands out there. And they're in the uranium space, which, let's take a minute for uranium. You want to be green? You want green energy out there? Okay, so windmills, you need batteries because the wind doesn't go 24/7. So you need big, fat batteries with big, ugly metals in them, and you need to have them all over the damn place in order for windmills to actually be useful as an energy source and not just a top line. Solar panels, same situation. The sun doesn't always shine. So you need big, fuck-off batteries that can make solar energy useful and able to push power out when it's nighttime, when we've all got our lights and heaters and air conditioners on. All right, so these two green energies are good, but they're only good, as Nutella used to say, as part of a nutritional healthy breakfast. They're not going to power the future of populations in North America. What will? Well, not coal. We know that's going the way of the dodo, and so it should. Oil and gas are basically squeezing as much cash as they can out of us until we stop using them. What's left? It's uranium. It's nuclear energy. Man, if I was running this damn country, I'd have nuclear power stations popped along the top of the country. I'd have them in places where there is no other business, where, look, if there isn't a problem, if there is an accident, you're way up north in the middle of nowhere. There's no one to be interfered with. But generally speaking, there are no accidents. There's been 3 in the past 50 years. One down to terrible management, hello 3 Mile Island. One down to Russian design, hello Chernobyl. And one recently in Fukushima in Japan, where, you know, like if you're going to put your nuclear power plant next to a tsunami zone, well, I mean, you get what you get. Honestly, the safest form of energy is nuclear power plants. The least accidents and the least number of people damaged by... Now, that's not to say that nuclear power plants don't spit something out that's problematic. Yes, there's nuclear uranium that is spent does have to come out of these things and is put somewhere. You know where it's put? In a hole in the ground in Nevada, and it's locked away for the next 1,000 years. And unless you're looking to dig holes in Nevada, it's not going to affect you in any way, shape, or form. So uranium, nuclear power plants are the future. In fact, if we didn't every 3 months have Netflix putting out a documentary about the one of the 3 that went haywire, you'd have nuclear power plants on every corner. We've got mini nukes on the back of battleships right now. So it's not like that it's not possible to make these things on a much smaller scale and put them everywhere. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep waiting for the wind to blow on a sunny day? Are we going to keep burning oil and gas or natural gas? Or are we going to just bite the bullet and say, let's do it right, let's manage it properly, and let's put those damn nuclear power plants all across the country? Now, you know, right now in Texas, the power grid down there that's been deregulated because that was supposedly more efficient, brownouts all over the place. They had last winter where the energy grid just completely lost and people were freezing. They were putting their frozen food out in the snow to keep it cool. People were dying. Senator Cruz was taking off to Cancun, and they have not changed anything. They are still having problems there. Why are they having problems there? Because there's the number one user of energy right now is crypto, right? Crypto uses enough energy to power Argentina. Just crypto, right? Just a thing that allows you to say, I have a thing that's worth some money, takes that much energy. And what is going to happen in the next few years is it's going to take that much energy again. No one's inventing a blockchain that doesn't use a lot of power. So as crypto grows and decentralized finance grows and blockchain grows, so does the need for energy. We are going to get to a place where we start running out. The nuclear energy industry is the only way forward. And when that happens, what happens to a company like Azincourt that's in the early stages of drilling out a property that has uranium up and down it? They're going to go from a $20 million company to I don't even know what. The risk here is that they run out of money. Well, they've got money in the bank. They've got plenty of money. The other risk is that they drill and they don't find uranium. They know there's uranium there. There's indications. So all it's down to right now is zeroing in on the right targets and then moving those properties forward to a place where in the next few years they can start to produce. Azincourt is my favorite in this because it's so damn down. And it's so damn down for no good reason other than they did good housekeeping and tried to tighten their share structure. That's a good thing. That's not a reason to take 70% off your share price. That is a positive. That is where you properly run your business so that it may move forward. So for mine, nuclear energy is coming, whether it be this year, next year, or the year after. Uranium is going to be required when that happens, whether it be this year, next year, or the year after. And Azincourt is in a beautiful place to take advantage of that. It is cheap, it is low risk, and if you're anything at all into renewables, stop confusing yourself that nuclear energy is bad. Nuclear energy is the greenest energy there is. Yeah, you got to be careful with it, but you got to be careful with oil pipelines. You got to be careful with coal dust. You got to be careful with a whole bunch of things. So for mine, have a look at Azincourt. Look at where the shares are sitting, and by sitting I mean sitting. They've dropped down to 9 cents and have been there now for 2-3 weeks. This is a base, and people are going to start to accumulate. You're starting to see more green days than red, and you're starting to see people looking to take a position. For me, this is the best spot to be in if you're interested in uranium, if you're interested in Azincourt. Right here, right now, this share price, it's a gift. I'm buying. Whatever you do is down to you.